Well, after 2 maps of back and forth action, it's time to come down to the final map and decide who's going to go home and who gets to move forward into the decider match of this group. It's Godsent taking on NRG, and now we are on our 3rd and final map. It's going to be Cobblestone, ladies and gentlemen, to joust it out for that last spot in the decider match of this group.
Definitely, yeah. I talked to some of the NRG guys, NJ specifically, in the break here, and they actually seem like they're pretty uplifted by the map win on Mirage, and it seems like they're coming in here to Cobblestone with nothing to lose, think, okay, we can actually do this, we can make it on, we don't have to worry about Godsent being this dominant team aim-wise, we can just play our own game and focus on that, and then move forward.
Yeah, of course, they are going to have to, like I said before, worry about the aggression coming back in from Godsent a little bit more now. Like I said, I think Mirage wasn't necessarily the best map to go to because of the fact that they get punished a lot easier for getting aggressive on that map, and you can really only do it. You can't do it as often as they were doing it back on Inferno here. But on Cobblestone, there's a lot of areas where you can definitely continuously get aggressive, and things like that can actually work out a lot more. So they may be able to go back to that sort of chaotic playstyle that we were seeing on Inferno, and that would allow them to take control. At the same time, now, at this point, NRG have had multiple maps to figure out how to counter that. So they should have a pretty good idea of how to work around this at this point. And if not, well, then that's only really going to be their own fault, falling victim to that if Godsent do go back to that kind of a play style here now on the 3rd and final map.
So, as you said, Cobblestone is going to be the map, the man in question right now. Messi also being filmed on. The amount of feedback he's going to be able to give that team is probably not as we would expect from a normal coach. Not, let's say, a CS analytical person, of course, usually has a background in admin, so he's not new to Counter-Strike at all. But if we compare him to something like Jumpy on the Fnatic squad, definitely a very, very different type of coach. And on the other side of things, NRG without a coach, so they're going to have to rely on their in-game leader in Dabs and perhaps also Peter to keep that team going and just focus on the mistakes they made and what they're doing correctly and how to counter Godsent. But we are moving now into the pistol round, and look at that from Godsent. Once again, the raid boss setup, it's Twist this time around. Tech 9 armor. On the CT side, only a single nade on Dabs and a CSIT 75 armor. Oh, Peter's to start us off.
Nicely shot from Peter. Already taking down 1 player here from the Godsent side. However, it's been traded back now, but Fugly still able to keep it strong, and Peter still able to continue this impact too. Godsent already down to 2 players. They're trying to keep the dream alive here for the T side, but it's not going to work out. But once again, NRG starts off strong by taking control of the pistol run. They've done that on all 3 maps now.
Very good job. Peter, one of the players, we've been talking about him a lot. He needs to step up and deliver some of the games that, or some of the style of games that he's been delivering in let's say, the last season Pro League and on online games in general. And now coming into the pistol round, really hits 2 beautiful shots to start it off, gets the 3rd one as well, getting that confidence in and just continuing to spur his team on. Right now, Godsent, almost full Deagle buy for them, and 1 Tech 9 armor as well. 2 flashbangs, that's all they have.
Everyone from Godsent pretty much just camping outside right now, playing for picks on the opener. As we saw back on the last map in these second rounds, these forced up rounds, they do tend to take it relatively nice and slow. So no rush for the Godsent roster here in this round. They're going to take it nice and easy, hoping that they can line themselves up an opportunity to find a kill and then snowball it from that point forward. And there's their first chance at it. They know Daps is stuck over here in the suicide steps. They just have to find a position where they can actually take him down. Unsuccessful so far, as he's netted the first kill and is now going to leap over. Peter, however, was taken out, so Daps actually going to find himself trapped. He goes down to Twist, but smart play from NRG. Fugly does roll in to make sure that Twist doesn't get away scot-free with that one. He'll be traded back out. Disco Doppelin trying to hold back on for this T side. He picks up an additional kill on Fugly, and now all of a sudden we're even. Back down into a 2v2, and Pitt is in a great position to take out Breeze, but he whiffs on the spray there with his Tech 9.
Yeah, he should have had that like 9 out of 10 times, no worries, Pitt there, but not able to capitalize, and that's always, of course, sad when you have a position like that. If he got that frag, got a weapon, he's in the middle of everything, can pretty much flank any which way that Disco Doppelin wants to go, but now Disco Doppelin forced into this 1v2 low HP. Has the bomb though, so definitely an opportunity, but he needs to hit pretty much 2 clear 1-deeks now.
Disco Doppelin sneaking his way up top. First target's going to be over here in the alleyway. There's one, not necessarily the clean 1-deke, but if he can get the second one quickly enough, he could win the round. Not going to happen though. Breeze holds on strong and ensures that NRG claim the second round and that they don't get immediately reset here. Unfortunately, they do win it with only 1 player left alive, so it's not necessarily the cleanest fashion. And as a result of only 1 player being left alive at the end of it, Godsent do decide to force into it again.
This is very ballsy strategy coming up for Godsent, but it's high risk, high reward. If they can get this one, NRG's money is not going to be looking good at all. Pith, Tech 9, a couple of pistols as well. Deagle's coming in, and then Disco Doppelin with the UMP 45. Peter going for the aggressive peek. only takes a bit of damage, doesn't really see all that there is to see outside, but definitely knows there's presence there for the Terrorists. They have taken that outside mid presence, making sure that no pushes can happen from the CT side.
Yeah, well, Godsent, they've got great control over the entrance to A-Long. Now they actually need to make the entry power happen. And, well, that's actually not going to be too difficult to do since Peter just completely backs up from the play and focuses up on the site instead, where NRG actually have a pretty big stack set up on the A-bomb site. There's 2 players in the site, one slightly outside behind the doors, which is, you know, only going to take like a second or 2 to get them in the site and into the fight. So it's actually a pretty well set up defense strategy here from NRG. If Godsent do decide to push forward directly into the A-bomb site.
Let's have a look. Peter going aggressive, picking up Pronax, but has to stay back and not push too much into this. And he's doing exactly that. Once again, Pith is being allowed into this entrance, but Dabs shuts him out. Not going to give him the map advantage there as the Terrorists are grouping up, hitting that A-bomb site.
Now, as they start to move in, Godsent continue to lose more and more players. Unfortunately, they need to trade some in the back. Finally, they do it. Nisco Doppelin picks up a second one as well, bringing this down to a 3v3. Smoke still in heaven. That's going to restrict resistance from the NRG side, but as soon as that smoke goes away, Fugly's back into the fight, picking up another kill, but at the same time, Twist trading it back. But Fugly doing some beautiful work with the UMP at range. Now only 1 player remains. It's going to be Twist, tagging up 1, but also getting tagged a lot himself. It's ANJ that'll take him down. And with that energy, we're going to be able to continue forward, now picking up their 3rd.
Couple of close rounds here, but NRG coming out on top on every single one of them. So they know that Godsent is still in there in the match, doing the best they can, but winning every single one of them, NRG has to feel very nice right now. If we have a look at the money, then we'll see that Godsent are able to buy, but it's not going to be the best buy in the world, let's be real. 2 UMP45s and Twist with the option of going for AK, no utility whatsoever, or UMP45 full utility. Goes for the full utility option. But buying down once again, so if NRG gets this one, then it's surely going to be full eco for Godsent.
Yeah, the ump's showing up quite a bit there because of the force buy in the last round. They thought they could chase down NRG's economy. Hasn't played out, so now for their first gun round, quote unquote, they're going to be relatively weak. Playing with mainly UMPs. At the very least, with those UMPs, they are going to be able to get a semi-decent amount of utility built up, so they're not going to be completely missing that and having to rely on just their entry power alone to make these rounds happen for themselves, at least until they could stack up that losing bonus again. But Peter, looking for an early victim to try and claim here. He may be able to get it since Godsent's getting ready to move in towards mid-connector to take some control themselves. There, of course, is the possibility that there are other CTs hiding out in here, so it's going to take Godsent a moment. You can see that blue line. If they peek down into that doorway, whoever does it is more than likely going to end up being a dead man.
Peter has to be on point with the op here. So it looks like the execute is going to come his way. 55 seconds to go. Terrorists lining up towards that A-bomb site. Dabs with the Molotov gonna take 10 seconds off that timer before they can move in.
Time is getting low though, so it's gonna want to try and move in here relatively soon. The CTs are still gonna put up a pretty good resistance. Pit though, finding that first kill against ANJ. And now where do they go? Because with that frag happening over here on the other side of the map against ANJ, it seems like they've made the decision that B is going to be the better site to take, and they're quite right about that. NRG's focused a lot of their defense now over on the other bomb site. Problem is, Fugly swipes in there to take down Pit, and now he's going to go for more in place of Breeze.
I don't think Breeze knew exactly what was going on there, because usually if you're 4v4, you want to retake together. You don't just want to rush one player towards that bomb site. The rest of his team was on the opposite end of the map, and now they're pretty much forced to save their guns here. Godsent going to win this one surely. Bring a couple of weapons into the next round as well, but wasn't the most clean round for either team here. A lot of mistakes being made.
Yeah, so Godsent finally going to get themselves on the board a lot earlier this time than what we saw on the last map.
Yeah.
NRG really just focused on self-preservation at this point, keeping Fugly, Peter, and Daps alive so they can sell those guns going into the 5th round and hopefully be able to rebuy them. These things were a little bit close originally. They did maintain better control, at least leading up to this round, of course. So we shouldn't have too much of a problem rebuying for both ANJ and Breeze.
They have just enough, I think, to get the full rebuy in with a couple of Hamases, but after this, the money situation is not looking good for the NRG side. Definitely going to be forced into a pistol if they lose this one. Godsent building a little bit of a bank, not big yet, but of course, winning a couple of rounds in a row, saving 4 weapons. going to be good for the economy. Hit once again. Going out here towards Broken Wall, towards Long. Taking this battle, but maybe overextending himself a bit too much. Peter is definitely holding down the angle here. Trying to pop flash his way out. Peter locks him down.
With that again, it's NRG taking the early control of the round. Now Godsent will get ready to start to push themselves into A long instead, and they can execute in that direction while having Pronexus distract from the drop room. Specifically Daps and a few others. A and J next up here are going to be focused on defending the actual A bomb site itself, and well, A and J is probably going to be your first player up to bat here since he is the designated guy to watch out for extra A long pressure. And boys, there are going to be a lot of it. You have at least 2 players starting to push their way in with the 3rd and 4th, possibly still to come in a few moments here. Pitt is going to be completely detached from all this initially, but should be able to group up. Now as the CTs do start to move their way in. There's Twist with the first pickup. Fugly trading that back, and it seems like it's a pretty quick CT shutdown here in the favor of NRG, as now they trade that round back. And more importantly, reset the losing bonus for Godsent. So they might force up here again, but after that, they will have to full eco.
Yeah. Peter being very vocal there at the end of the round, just spurring the team on, keeping the motivation high, and that's what he needs to do. That's one of the reasons why he's such a good team player. Is he gets everyone hyped up. And when they're up 4-1 and just shut Godsent down, forcing them into this kind of a round where they only have 2 Tech 9s, then it's very much allowed to get your players hyped up. Breeze going for the aggressive peek, taking a bit of damage, not giving anything. Forced back into a more defensive position here. Godsent are out on the bomb side, but Breeze and NJ will lock that one player down. That's Twist going down. The rest of the team, though, peeking out. The rotations have to come in for the CT side.
More leaping back down over here now as Breeze going to try to hold the line, but all of a sudden, the round spun itself on its heels. Lekro and Disco Doppelin both picking up kills. Fugly and Daps trying to bring it back, though. Only 2 left alive now for the Godsent roster, and Fugly just walks himself into another one. That's Pitt getting eliminated, so it's all on Lekro in 1v3. He finds one. He knows where a second is, back over there by the tree position, but he's already relocated. The sidewalk is going to be where the battle needs to take place here, and Lekro sees all the damage he's taking. He's not sure if he wants to re-peek into that alley so soon, because that could mean his death. He still hasn't spotted that head just yet. Sees it now and is trying to line up for the double kill. He got so close on both of those players. Was not able to take down either one. He's eventually eliminated by Daps. The 5th round is claimed for NRG.
And Peter with the op there in that position. The second that the Terrace player would peek out, Peter would have locked him down, but of course peeking smartly, not going straight into the crosshairs of the op, knowing that that is a danger. That's how you got to play that position, but still 5 rounds on the NRG side here, only 1 for Godsent. Very good start from them. Definitely what they need on the CT side to get things rolling. Godsent, on the other hand, have not been looking successful at all on this T side. Been looking very lackluster strategically, not up to the task, to be honest. Looking very weird. Now Peter forced to rotate back. Flash is coming in. The Terrace will get some kind of map control here. Disco Doppelin with a double off camera. Gets 2. Now Breeze shuts him down. Twist here in mid. Might get the frag. Yes, he will.
And with that, we're right back into another even 2v2. However, Breeze is going to look to change that. In fact, takes down Pronax. They should already know, generally speaking, where Twist is and be able to play around him. AJ is going to be looking for a flank here in a second. I'm amazed that Breeze didn't just go like right up onto the site and immediately start defusing it. On it now, he's tagged it once, but he is going to use that tag to bait his opponent into the open, and it works out perfectly. Twist is just found right in the middle of the field there. He gets taken down relatively easily by Breeze. Breeze ends up with a beautiful 3K in this round, saving his team and pushing them up to 6.
And nicely waiting with the defuse to pick up that AWP. That's ANJ picking it up, getting it back to Peter in the next round. But this is the play that came in from Disco Doppelin once again, making plays out of nothing, pushing in with the P2K or P250, just getting stuff done, picking up the 2 frag, but not enough to secure the round this time around. Godsent on a full buy Disco Doppelin without utility on that op. And yeah, it's weird that they're not playing Twist on that op, and Cobblestone obviously some kind of decision has been made. Disco Doppelin maybe just saying, yep, I want to try this just for 1 round. Let's see how it works. They're in a position where they can do that. Pronax trying to walk through the smoke. Peter might be in trouble here.
It's very odd they have Pronax being the one to lead the charge.
He hasn't been spotted or heard. Now he has.
Yeah, now the problem is he's trapped himself. But Peter's just going to go for the quick shot. Takes out Pronax, and there you go. His adventures are over for the time being. But the rest of the team is going to try to go in towards drop, but this is also being punished very heavily too. Daps actually just got flashed up by a teammate big time, so he is going to be forced to fall back a little bit more here. And it's primarily Disco Doppelin back over there in mid looking for picks against players like Fugly. Now that he's gotten it, Pit's going to feel a little bit safer to possibly venture over, but a little bit of a ring around the rosy game here. As they both try to find each other. Breeze gets the better of Pit in that situation, however, knocking him out and now just leaving Disco Doppelin alive in a 1v4, and only has 50 seconds to plant.
50 seconds and up on a Molotov. Has to watch out as well. Does not have head armor, only 1 AK on that CT side. Disco Doppelin, he has done it before. Can he make this one happen? It's a 1v4 clutch, probably a tall order, big ask. Let's see if he can come into the site. The young Swede. Trying to make it happen. 21 seconds to go. Time's still ticking away, and he's trying to get something done here, but the second that he goes for that plan, the second he makes noise, he's gonna be destroyed. He gets one frag, but oh, Peter missing that shot, and that might allow him to get the bomb down.
At the very least, he's going to complete that task. So the bomb goes out on the ground, guarantees him the extra money. Now he's going to try to win this out while only holding the statue position. There's one. No way. He's done these before. This could be an ace as well. There's the flick for number 4 and number 5. Disco Doppelin does it again as a massive clutch is pulled out from him to put the second round on the board for Godsent.
That is absolutely insane coming out of Disco Doppelin there. In a situation he should have no business doing anything in. Big whiff, I think, from Peter, who pretty much had an open kill on him when he planted the bomb, but Disco Doppelin uses all the things he has, brings an advantage home, and his AWP play is insane. Then that's a good purchase, choosing Twist, or choosing him over Twist in that situation when he can clutch around like that. Absolutely insane come out Disco Doppelin. This will turn the game around, and I actually like this from NRG. So they take a tactical break now, a tactical pause, because that round was a lot of mistakes, and they need to make sure that that does not happen again.
Yeah, and in addition to discussing what exactly went wrong there, because here's the thing, is we've seen that happen before for Disco Doppelin. If you weren't tuning in for any of the previous maps, this happened, twice in 2 rounds on map 1, where they kind of fed him too many kills. And that same thing happened there. It was just a sequence of players going out with those op shots, following it up. I mean, it almost aligned perfectly. It was only just one player peeking out a broken wall, and it was way too easy for Disco Doppelin to get those kills.
Yes.
This, like I said, the same thing happened back on Inferno, so hopefully they're discussing that, realizing that now, and making sure that they have a plan to ensure that that does not happen again. Not only that, too, but they need to cool the guys from Godsent off so that they can go into this next round here with the ability to shut them down and reset them again, as NRG are kind of going to be putting it to the wall here, forcing into this next round. They don't end up with the best buy, unfortunately.
No, let's see how they're going to make this work. 3 pistols, 1 SMG, and an M4. Awesome. Game is around 30 seconds away from being resumed. Also, a great break to just refocus for some of these players here. Just take a breather. Just make sure you're 100% ready for the rounds to come, because this is map 3. This is where you get either eliminated or progress further on into the tournament. This is where heroes are made and men are broken.
Well, we're going to jump back into it here now as the game has been unpaused, so let's go. 6-2 right now in the favor of NRG. And NRG started off this series very poorly by losing Inferno in a very dominant fashion to the guys from Godsent. Godsent were stomping all over them, but then pretty much the reverse of that happened back over on Mirage. And now, so far in map number 3, it seems like NRG has had the edge so far, but Godsent have a great opportunity to swing this comeback after that big clutch from Disco Doppelin. He's had 3 of them so far in this set.
Breeze and AJ, a duo here, playing towards that B bomb site. Support of teammate P250 here, has the chance to pick at least 1 up, goes for the second, will just be a 1-for-1 trade. Disco Doppelin, once again, one of the most dangerous players on this team, just making his way towards the bomb site. Falcon picking up 1 up, Godsent moving in, and they're falling like flies. Only Disco Doppelin able to pick 1 up, but eventually will be shut down. Surely cannot hit the shots, Fuckley. Missing a bunch there.
Now bringing this down to the 2v2. Twist. Still looking for the pickup here as NRG holds the line. Still plenty of time for Godsent to clutch this one out. NRG really just looking for an opportunity they can use to punish players like Disco Doppelin, who are already incredibly low here He's finally going to pop flash and start to move out himself, but unfortunately reveals himself a little bit too much there. Peter lines up the one more bullet that's needed to eliminate him, and now everything falls to Twist. He's able to catch a very aggressive move from Peter there, though, jumping up on top of the pizza box, trying to boost there. So now it brings down to 1v1, but oh, he's caught trying to change his movement, but Daps is not able to get the full kill, only brings him down to 38 HP. He's got 5 bullets left as well here, and Twist wants to close it out and finally gets that headshot to do the job. Nicely played from Twist as he finishes off the 1v2, and that's a 3rd round from Godsent going up on the board now.
Very close from NRG, probably kicking themselves that they didn't convert that into a round win. Fugly with the spray with the CZ75 being off by a couple of inches and then trying to go for this aggressive play here. Forcing Dabs into a 1v1 6-3. Full eco coming out of NRG. Godsent on almost a full buy here. Disco Doblin just going without any utility, just doesn't care. Wants to run in towards the bomb site and get some kills.
Yeah, NRG's going to be on pretty much an exact full save here. There's 2 P250 buys and a Deagle purchase. That's all we're going to see from these guys this time. Breeze. Oh, no.
What?
Oh,
what?
no. What's that? This could be a 4th right here. He's got the AK finally put down by Twist, but the damage is already done. Now it's a 4v2. Guns on the ground, right up front there. Lekro sneaking in and all. This is a big mistake from NRG now. They had nobody watching out for pressure coming in from Dropper, and Lekro just gonna multi-frag. He takes down ANJ as well. He's got Daps stuck in the corner behind the big old rock, and he's gonna be able to find that frag. So Lekro does kind of save the day a little bit. Everything's left to Peter now in a 1v2.
Yeah, and I think Twist spotted him, or at least has some kind of sense. Maybe heard him step or something like that, because he's definitely looking behind him, making sure that no one can come behind. Lekro now to hold that position as bomb goes down. They're definitely very aware that someone could be hiding and someone could be coming with a flank. Almost a good job by Peter there, doing a bunch of damage onto Lekro, but it's not enough, but still. Good damage done there in that almost full eco. Get 3 frags, almost 4. But with that starting 3K, they were hoping for so much more.
Yeah. So Breeze ends up with a beautiful start. Just a poor follow-up, unfortunately, not watching out for the flank from Drop Room, and a few other mistakes there end up costing them what could have been a really great round, considering that they basically had 0 investment into that round itself. But unfortunately was not meant to be. So Godsent will continue to close the gap, but now we go on to another gun round here. So this is yet another opportunity for NRG to stop the comeback from happening and to restore the lead themselves. Okay, we can progress up to 16 rounds. They'd be able to smite Godsent, knock them out, and push onward into the final match of this bracket.
Let's see. Want to take drop room control here. Pronax and the boys. All 3 CTs focused towards Plateau. Want to flush out any aggressive terrorists. Drop room control is thereby given away if Godsent wants to take it.
Going to be nice and slow again from Godsent here, as they do try to edge their way out, getting closer and closer. Twist taking the shot, although it goes through the wall, so not full damage connection on the Daps. He stays alive with 41 HP in excess here. The flash inside, it's actually not that great, but at the very least it makes Daps look away and throws him off a little bit. Now Peter, oh no. Oh yeah, Disco, nicely done. Wants to check for that one, and then has Lekro move back in while he's distracted to get the actual kill. So another one from NRG going down. And they're just slowly wiping the board of these players one by one by one.
So Godsent finding their way back into this game after a tough start, but hit there, shutting down Breeze. And now Fugly and ANJ. 1 flashbang and a kit. That's all that remains. And at this point, they should be saving. There's no reason to go into a 2v5 retake against full AK and AWP setup. They should just hold their positions, maybe find somewhere where they can, with guarantee, at least trade 1 for 2 if they're being pushed. So good job so far. Disco Doblin once again, like going off. 15-8 from him. Lekro 12 as well. Pronax doesn't even need to frag. He's only on 1 frag, but with this comeback coming in, there's no need. But they could have definitely used him in the beginning rounds of this half. At this point, the comeback is real for Godsent.
Yeah, just down to ANJ in this round. Trying to pull off an impossible defuse here. He's going to push back in, steals 1, looking for the 2nd, but finally falls to Lekro there. That's going to guarantee yet another round for Godsent. It's a 5 now, just 1 more away from tying it. And it's looking like they're going to have a pretty easy time doing that, since I believe NRG is once again going to have to go for a full save in this coming round here. So far, just seeing a couple CZ buys, a Deagle, P250, and only 1 player, Fugly, is going to have the economy to invest into armor.
Should be rather easy round coming in here for Godsent. They have full setup against this pistol by a couple of nades here. Triple nade. Could go for something cheeky here, especially as all the CTs are stacking on the same bomb site. I expect something weird coming out here with these nades. And setting up for it, if the terrorists decide to go full on plateau, the nades are going to do a big chunk of damage, but that's not the setup right now, as Godsent are slowly but surely walking in towards the A-bomb site.
Now Godsent, you get ready. Finally start to move in for an execute here. 1 minute and 10 seconds remain, so they have plenty of excess time to be able to go out and make this hit happen. In the meantime, NRG did take a gamble. They're way over on the other side of the map, so they're going to find out in a second. They made the wrong choice to gamble on, and that ultimately they're not really going to be left with much of a choice besides camping out for exits and just trying to openly contest Godsent to the best of their own ability here. Sitting back, and again, like I said, Godsent have managed to work their way in here without any conflict at all. So they're going to walk right in, plant the bomb, and move on with their lives.
So do see a couple of them just trying to take duels here, Peter. Challenging Pith, but not going to be successful. Rotating around two of the players, making sure that if the terrorists push out or try to go away from the bomb site, at least into mid, they're going to be shut down, or at least they're going to lose a couple of players to the waiting CTs. They're aware of this, though. Pith is definitely trying to clear some angles, and the remaining terrorists do have to move out. They don't want to die to the explosion here.
No, they do not. So they're going to walk out of this one, but they also don't want to lose too many of their own players. The resulting end of the round. So everyone should be safe. Yeah,
that's nice.
Pit takes like 1 damage. He's a little bit close, but everyone else stays alive there for Godsent. As now they finally tied it up. It's 6-6. And from this point forward, are going to let them take the lead, let them push ahead of NRG, and allow them to restore the advantage that they've been missing since map 1.
Full buy coming in from NRG, double op setup, A and J on the op as well. It's going to be interesting here to see how NRG are going to put this one to use. Peter, of course, the main op going to be peeking towards mid. Does not hit the shot and takes a bunch of damage, goes down to 27 HP. Surely the other op is on the other side of the spectrum, on that B bomb site. And yes, he is, sitting at chicken coop. Once again, his drop room control is the name of the game for Godsent. They're not being allowed it so easily this time around. Luckily, actually, as I say, that rotates back, so they can just drop in there and get it all done. Walks around them, make sure that if they get it, they cannot move out at least.
Skulk's being redeployed again here as Godsent continue the slow play, but
oh, the split.
They're going to kick up the action here now as they do move out through the drop room. Unfortunately, the plan isn't that well fleshed out, but for whatever reason, Peter only suspects the one player. He should have been able to hear the other players moving up, but that's the problem with those LAN environments. Sometimes it is a little bit difficult to hear the footsteps and some of the quieter sounds. That might have been what ended up happening there and why he missed out on that sound cue of the players pushing up towards him. So now, bomb goes onto the ground, same situation as before. NRG does have the extra firepower this time, so you can actually expect them to go for a retake. Problem is, again, they don't have the positioning, they don't really have good utility, so they're just going to get knocked out.
Yeah, at this point, you don't really want to see them go for it. 2v4 is never going to happen. AJ has that AWP, and they just got shut down completely by Disco Doblin in the mid area. There's not much they could do, and Godsent are going to bring themselves on 7 rounds now. Twist even shutting down AJ, just to put more salt into the wound of NRG. They're not probably not even going to survive with a single player here. Oh, okay, Fockley is staying alive. He's fighting for his chance to live, and let's see if he gets it. No, not even a single player left alive there. And that's very hard to deal with for Godsent or for NRG here. Coming in 3,500 on each player. They're going to buy down to around 2K. Fockley probably going to stay a bit higher so he can potentially drop an AWP for his teammate. No, it's not going to be the case. He buys armor as well. So, pistol round coming in for NRG, who had a brilliant start here on Cobblestone, but eventually just threw it away. 6 rounds in a row for Godsent.
Yep. And there's also Godsent now that have the firepower advantage. They're going to look to use that early on since players from the NRG group did try to push themselves out. Didn't really work out, though. Twist was unable to connect his shot too. So things will remain relatively neutral for the time being until we start to see Godsent's players once again pushing up towards areas like A-Long, into the mid-connector itself. Not out of blocked areas here.
ANJ with the deagle, trying to go for the wonder frag. Not getting it done though. Pith taken out to 64. So some damage being done for sure. But not working out 100%. Twist slowly but surely edging his way in with the AWP. The question is, where do Godsent want to go right now? They have spread out in their default. Bomb spotted, or bomb being picked up. And now rotating all of them towards that A-bomb side.
Well, Godsent get ready to move in here. They've got to check for the corner, and nicely done from Disco Doppelin. He does try to adjust to it, but he's still overwhelmed that it's not only Disco Doppelin that ends up going down in this situation.
Oh, Peter.
There's also going to be a kill from Fugly, too. Hit swinging around, though, but he's not able to take down Fugly, so he maintains control over this situation. Runs out of ammo, though, so he is going to end up going down to Twisted, and he follows it up with one more. Only one remains. It's going to be ANJ. He's got these players lit up, though, so can tag him down pretty quickly. There's one, and the second is only one tappable here. No, he can't hit it, though. Twist responds with his own deagle, and it's another round for Godsent as they push up to 8 as we go into the final round of the half.
You can just see there in ANJ's face. They're inches away from winning that reset round. Pistols only, and they're so close. You had 3 players in a row who basically had the chance of getting an extra frag, but got shut down in the end. And that's so unlucky for NRG there. They had a chance to bring it back and maybe even win the half here, but now Godsent is on 8. Potentially could go on 9 as well, but this is the buy from NRG. They definitely need this one to stay in the game, stay competitive. Double up set up T side, Disco Doppelin and Twist both going for it.
Godsent seem like they're just ready to rush into this site, to be completely honest here. They've got a lot of players up on platform ready to go for it. ANJ's also ready to defend it, however. He picks up that first frag against Lekra. The rest of the team's really far behind. Pit and the others still grouped up over towards the B halls, and well, Disco Doppelin way disconnected from this as he's watching for aggression in the mid connector.
Yeah, ANJ on that B plat position is one of his favorite positions in the entire game, and he just shut down pretty much everyone back when he played home in Denmark. But this is a different opposition. Back onto 19 HP after winning that initial duel. 4v4 though.
Breeze is going to go off here, getting a nice double kill, but it's responded to very quickly by both Twist and Pit, bringing it down to an even fight again. And Twist hunting for more, but he is forced to back out. Pit, in the meantime, having much better luck pushing in through the doors. He takes down ANJ, and that opens up the B bomb site for the taking. Now Twist is waiting this out. Ooh, tries to take down Fugly, but he actually misses the shot, so now he's going to run away, which does leave Pit on his own for some time here, since Fugly's just going to take the direct route over to the bomb site. Fugly's going at it pretty slowly, though, so looks like Twist is going to have time to group up with Pit anyway. And now they should be able to 2v1 this relatively easily. Fugly, though, we'll see if he can clutch this out. Not going to happen, nope. Failed to account for Pit inside, so Godsent claiming 9th, and that's a great comeback from them now. Same as we saw, actually very similar to what we saw back on Inferno, to where they started off kind of poorly. NRG had a couple of good rounds, but then towards the end of it, Godsent really took control and were able to push forward. They had a massive streak at the end there of 5, or I think like almost like 7 or 8 rounds right at the end.
But to be honest, Godsent of course leading the half 9-6, but they could be in a way bigger lead if Pronax actually stepped into the scoreboard. He's still thinking of 2 frags, and of course he's the in-game leader, so you don't expect him to get as many frags as, let's say, Disco Doppelin, but Disco Doppelin is currently on 19. There's 17 frags between him and the in-game leader, and that's, of course, it's all well and good as they're leading the game, but the second they run into trouble, that's going to be one of the bigger problems of the team. So Pronax definitely needs to get himself into gear and get some frags on the scoreboard. And well, it's always hard being the in-game leader getting frags, because you always have to put the team ahead of yourself, but 2 frags, that's just not enough.
So again, let's see, the pistol rounds have pretty much been reversed here. Godsent, unfortunately, has not had the best record on it so far. So we're going to have to hope that they can improve upon that and not get upset by NRG again now as they jump onto their T side. They cannot let NRG steal away this pistol from them. Godsent have to be able to push ahead and get a solid lead going. Otherwise, I am fearful that NRG may be able to swing this comeback and now push up from 16 rounds relatively easily on this T side. But we will see if Godsent's adjustments that they made to allow for that comeback to happen are also going to affect the CT side here too. And right at the start, it's Pronax picking up an initial kill, but he goes down to Breeze. He's another very brilliant pistol player. He's not going to last very long, though. This nice adjustment from Pit. Gets 2 more right into his counter. right there as he picks up both Fugly and Peter. Just Daps left alive, and he goes down as well. So that's Godsent claiming a very important pistol, which could solidify their lead for quite some time.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice play coming out of Pith there. Just the P2K, when you land headshots with that in the pistol round, just looks so magnificent. Look at that. 2 in a row, straight in there. And now, 10 rounds on the board for Godsent. MP9s, 2 FAMASas, and 2 umps coming in as well for Godsent, as NRG are on pistols. CST 75, Deagle, the whole shebang coming in for the NRG side. And I'm not really sure what they need now to get back into the game, but it seems like they're just taking duels and not winning them, and that sounds very, very simple, but that is the case right now. NRG are also not throwing anything too crazy tactics-wise into the whole works, so they're definitely losing out on a bunch of different things here.
Oh, now NRG starting to push their way into the site here. They're going to take some control. Godsent still sitting on the backside as well, trying to defend it, but NRG have a lot of presence in this site. Doesn't matter, there was Godsent doing a fantastic job of holding things off. Fugly responding with one more pickup, but the problem is now he's alone in this situation. They won't last very long either. Godsent claim the second one in a relatively clean fashion. They do lose Disco Doppler and Pronax there, but still are able to take control, picking up a second round here, up to 11, potentially 12 to come in a few moments here, as NRG is going to have to full save going into this round.
We do have a little bit of a break coming in. It's a technical one, at least that's what they said in chat, NRG, so maybe a mic issue or something as we see Daps adjusting his. We should be ready to jump into the game any second now, don't worry.
The admins will get on that relatively quickly, and then we should be good to go. No.
Yeah, it is a mic issue, but it's all around the board, so it's not just one player having one problem, so everyone having kind of the same problem. So they're gonna fix it now, surely, and we can get back on the way in a few minutes time. But so far, like NRG with a 6 start, and then being shut down afterwards. They got in the first 7 rounds, they got 6 of them, and then they got immediately shut down for the rest of that first half. Everything from that 6-1 lead just got completely wrecked and turned around into a 9-6 win for Godsent in the first half. And so far, Godsent winning the pistol, winning the second round as well. Surely going to win this one also, as NRG only on Glocks.
And now 11-6 in the favor of Godsent. Like I said before, this is slowly turning into what we saw from Inferno again here. NRG has to bust something out to try and reverse this progression, as it is very, very quickly going to get out of the hands of NRG. They really are only going to have the first gun round and maybe then 1 or 2 after that if they fail to pick up that initial gun round. So the chances for NRG are going to very quickly dwindle away in this second half, and they need to adjust fast, otherwise they're going to find themselves left in the dirt and going home early.
Seems like the problem has been fixed on both sides of the table here, and we're ready to jump straight back into the game in 10 seconds time. And NRG, whew, this is a big problem for them right now. This round, of course, don't put too much into it, as they only have a couple of pistols and a flashbang to work with. But they definitely need this next round, this next buy round. If they don't get that, it's hard to say how they can come back into this, because Godsent are looking okay now after a shocky start, and back at it as we usually see them push all the way up through middle, and they're just gonna get wrecked, I think.
Yeah, Godsent could hear that coming with about like a 10-second plus warning to the guy they had over at A-Log, so I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Daps just getting completely surrounded at the end there, so it's even brutal towards the end of it, and Godsent really wanted to make sure they take full control of that situation, as they completely surround everyone on NRG. And now we get into it, and Peter left into a pretty unfortunate situation. You could see he was delayed to buy there, so I think he was trying to call out to get someone to buy the op for him, and they had maybe planned that, but I guess they either bought too quickly, there was a communication issue, or they never planned to buy it for him in the first place, and so he's going to end up having to go down to the AK, and there's going to be 5 AKs here for their first gun round.
And this is a big problem, because they bought all the way down to almost $0 on all of those players on NRG. That means if Godsent takes this one, gets on 13, probably also going to win the next one. Then they get a 14 before NRG can buy up again.
Twist in a little bit of trouble there because he went back to exchange a weapon with a teammate. He's going to toss the molly a little bit late, but he's still able to react properly. That's the bomb going down too, but they're not going to stick around to hold control over that one. In fact, now Breeze is pushing back in here to try and trade that back out. The flashbang though from the CT over the top of the wall completely destroyed Breeze's vision. He can't see anything at all. There's another player from NRG side that's kind of stuck on the ramp there too that also really can't see much. It's Peter. Can't do much right here. You can definitely hear the players in the corner jumping around, so he's going to be able to call that position out to his teammates, but I'm relatively certain Twist knows he's here too. And Peter, he's waiting for that though, so he is going to be able to punish Twist, bringing it down to a little bit more of a palatable 3v4.
It's definitely doable now. Lekro in a hard position. Peter coming in with yet another one. Dabs onto Lekro. It's now 3v2. Pronax coming in here as well. He has to step up now. The in-game leader, a legendary former Fnatic player, has to come up clutch, as he might be even caught off guard here as the boost into his position. Peter shuts him down. What a wonderful round this has been for him though. 3 frags and counting. Disco Doblin 1v3. He's done it before. This time around he doesn't have a kit though.
Trying to sneak his way forward here, but running into a lot of trouble in the process. There's a lot of unknowns about this push. Doesn't have a kit either. Definitely is going to be able to get some kills for sure. As you see him lining up one, almost getting the second two. He can't find that one though, and now his time has run out, so he's going to have to back out of this fight. Give the round to NRG, so at the very least they win out this initial gun round, keep themselves in the fight, going up to 7-12.
That's very important just to keep the momentum going, and Peter getting that triple frag. Gonna get him started as well. 7-12. The money of Godsent is still okay for the buy, no worries.
Peter does not look happy.
No. That is...
Had a great round too, that's the weird part.
Yeah. I think he needs a bit more before he can be satisfied. He hasn't had a good game yet here in Atlanta, so definitely wants that to happen. But that's also the thing that you can almost like psych yourself into a bad mental state by just not accepting how things are and accepting that, okay, maybe in this match I'm only going to get one highlight clip, and this match I'm not going to top frag. And if you keep focusing on the fact that you should be able to top frag and you should be able to do this and that, then you're going to mentally break yourself down. It's not even going to be your opponents that break you down. You're going to do all the work yourself. And that's a very bad mental state to find yourself in.
Made a great spray from Lekro there earlier on that kind of diminished Peter's health pool by quite a bit going through the mid doors. He's able to bring him down to just 40 HP, so he's going to be quite lit up for this next fight. NRG themselves are looking like they're probably going to do... Still trying to figure out if this is a drop split or a direct B play. I think it is going to end up swinging over towards B. It depends on what Peter does when he retrieves the bombs. I assume he's going to be the guy to do that at this point. So if he goes back outside, you're probably going to be looking at more of a drop split. It seems to be how things are leading up here.
Yeah. Let's see if Fuckley can get this opening. They know that Pronax is down there, and he's spotted out, taken out. And here comes the split. Twist is ready though, gets the first one, rotates back. Lekro knows that this is coming as well.
Trying to hide in the corner. He's doing this. He had the same problem that Pronax had though, where he is looking for like a flashbang or something like that. So he's gonna leave himself exposed for some time. Lekro getting the kill, and oh, Twist just getting destroyed by Daps. Runs in there, the quick stop and shoot. And there we go, the bomb finally getting planted. It's up to Lekro to try and clutch this, but he's up against some pretty impossible odds here. 1v3, doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any utility. All 3 players are safely tucked away within the site, so he has to be the one to get aggressive and push out into the open, but essentially as soon as he does, he's dead anyway. Peter gets that final kill, and it's NRG to claim another round. They're up to 8, just 4 behind their opponents now.
This is doable now, 4 rounds away, and Godsent being forced into a pistol with most of the players around the 2K mark, 2 players around 3K. They're going to be able to invest a little bit into this. But Godsent, this is definitely not a good round for them, and on that T side, they're racking up a bit of an economy on 2 of the players. The rest are just stuck on the same amount. So NRG not at a comfortable place just yet. If they win this one and the next buy round, I'll say they'll be pretty satisfied and be thinking about, okay, how can we win this game? Right now it's just pure survival. Just get through these rounds. Make sure that you don't lose more than 2 players. Breeze opens up.
Breeze finding that one. The rest of the team is going to follow suit, moving up to the site. And for Godsent, they don't have any additional presence here in this A-bomb site, so it's going to be a walkover round for NRG. Godsent's trying to throw a couple of players over in this general area, but with the gunpowder that they have, they're really not going to be able to do much. Lekro has a deagle, but that's pretty much it. There's a PT-50 sitting on pit too. Besides that, though, the other two players are just working with default pistols, and their best hope now is going to be to try and find a couple of exits here.
Fockley making sure that they can't come in from behind. Cheeky.
Let's see it. There it is. Don't miss it. There you go. Nicely done. Finally getting some revenge against Disco Doppler. Even the follow-up as well to move in there. A bit of a...
Lekro with a deagle.
Team assist as he finds one kill.
But yeah, Lekro and Pith should not be pushing too much and just giving away free frags at this point. But Pith, he's looking for exits, but it's not going to work out. Lekro the same, but staying back. He has a deagle. And he's going for the AK here. See if he can find something or maybe even exit. But Peter shuts him down. NRG now on 9 rounds. Slowly but surely, with a lot of players surviving that round, and the Knifer, of course, giving him some extra money. Building up a bit of an economy. 3 players around 3K, 2 players around 5, 6K. So it's very nice with the replay there.
Gotta love it. So into the next foray we go. And Godsent do build up enough money to where they can buy into this next round again. So they do have their economy built up a little bit more here. 3 M4s. Utility is slightly limited. They do have 2 mollies sitting on Disco Doppler and Pit, but as soon as those are gone, only a couple of smokes left over for the entire team after that. Nicely done on the nade. Beautiful positioning with it. Twist chose to go with the glass cannon op in this round too, so he pays the price for that real quick. So now, after getting hit by that nade, he's already down at 35 HP. The armor would have made that much, much less damage.
NJ in the corner, gets the first one, sprays for the second, no he's there, gets the second as well. Really nice job by NJ, clearing that pretty much entire bomb site now. Played 2 stacked up together, and now NJ has control of the entire B bomb site, calls that to his teammates. Molotov goes into doors. Now they pretty much only have to watch out for the back flank and for the drop room control, and then they have this one on lockdown. There's no way that Godsent should be able to get anything done, and they shouldn't do anything. They should just save here, and that's exactly what they're trying to do, but Breeze trying to be a bit of a problem.
And he is being quite a problem here as he moves in. He gets all 3 of those final kills. No one on Godsent even allowed to save there, let alone stay within the site. So all those guns get dropped, and they don't really have the money to reinvest into them. The best thing they're going to have is like a half buy going into this round now.
The win conditions are slowly getting there from NRG on this T side here. They're playing really, really good Counter-Strike on this T side. Of course, losing the pistol, losing the first buy round as well. And then straight bouncing back. 4 rounds in a row now. Breeze is sitting pretty on 20 frags. NJ is not showing up as he did on the first map here. He's only on 7 frags right now.
Hello. I love the caught on camera moment there from just, oh, well, there's a camera on me. I better sit up and...
Messioso. Good guy, of course.
Yeah. Good lad.
It's all banter.
Yeah. But Godsent just trying to figure out how they can counter this now. This renewed aggression that we're seeing from NRG as they take their tactical pause. And I mean, at this point in time, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that can stop it as NRG's rolling in. And when you have these, the worst part about that too is Godsent, they lose that round, they can recognize that, and then they're like, okay, we could just save these 3 rifles and still go into the next round with a pretty decent buy. Then Breeze comes in and just dominates them in a 1v3, like he's clutching the round out sort of. And it's those kinds of plays that really have the capability to like tilt players and just completely change up the mindset of these some of these CTs here, and has made it relatively rough going for Godsent over these past few rounds, and has put this match within just a 2-round gap of NRG closing it.
And I'm pretty sure with the way that the momentum is swinging right now for NRG, I think they're going to at least take it up to 12 or maybe even 11, because Godsent probably going to be buying in his next coming round. So definitely going to be 11. Question is it going to be 12 and more for NRG? Are they going to take it back after a slow start here in map 3? NRG. Are they going to be another American team to send home a European one, as of course Misfits did in that opening against Binary Dragons? Can NRG do the same here against Godsent? Arguably a better team than Binary Dragons, of course, but still.
Well, it's time to find out as the game is live once again here. And we do not have a very big investment from Godsent at all. This should be a pretty easy round for NRG to walk over. Maybe see the loss of a few players from NRG just off of good positioning from Godsent. However, overall, there should be really no hesitation and no reason for NRG to worry about this one, since Godsent is in a very weak position, both individually as players and now economically too, as you can obviously see from the buy.
This kind of buy is, of course, not very good, but that's...
Nicely.
I was about to say, this is where stuff gets dangerous, where you kind of believe that, okay, Godsent, they only have pistols, this is going to be an easy round. That's exactly when they strike, and that's where pistols in CSGO in generally strike. It's when you don't really expect them. It's when you think, okay, we can just control this area, and then someone comes in with a 5-7, just wrecks you completely. CZ75 also in the hands of Pronax, P250s. We know how much damage they can do, Pit, with a single smoke. Trying to hold a close angle. And NRG has to be careful. Peter in a very rough position here because no one's probably going to challenge him long range with that AWP. Breeze taking a bunch of damage there. 4v4, but still. NRG lining up.
And Godsent trying to boost themselves up into the drop room as well. This actually could work. I'm not sure if the guys from NRG are going to use any drop pressure themselves. So look at this for Disco Doppler. It's a messy spray. He's only able to get one because of how long it takes him to take down Peter. But it does net him another kill. Unfortunately, they've kind of run out of a lot of their players. Pitt moves in, is able to pick up the drop dot from Peter.
Oh, this is a good position.
And now Twist, the only one left here that can really find some impact, but he's spotted out early. So he is going to be brought down low and yet not able to get that frag going. So for Pitt.
Oh, he has an up.
Yeah, he picked that up off of Peter, so I'm kind of curious what he's doing with it now.
Yeah, that's... This is a weird scenario.
Doesn't have armor,
yeah.
And yeah, he's going to get taken out pretty quickly by Breeze. As Breeze, once again, is the destroyer of saved guns, it seems. He's dropped like 4 or 5 of them in the last 2 or 3 rounds alone here, so he's having a pretty good run himself of making sure that he destroys this weaponry.
Good job there, come back into the round. NRG shutting it down, and now comes the double up by Disco Doppler and the Twist, both coming out with it. NRG, they have the chance of tying this one up and potentially also giving themselves a chance of getting the lead as well, because Godsent spending a lot of money on this round. Not really a lot left in their bank, so if NRG takes this, of course, the loss bonus is there for Godsent, but it's not going to be a good buy. So NRG, they have a chance now. Let's see, setting up here, Molotov. But no one is in that exact position. Lekro can still spot it out, and that's a big problem. He's already spotted a bunch of feet. Takes a kill, 1-for-1 trade, but gets a lot of information. Twist rotating down. Flash comes in, no smoke for it right now, and that's allowed Twist to take that frag. He's completely open with that AWP, and Peter too late to come in. Twist is already rotated away. Yeah, so 2-for-1 trade.
Daps had messed up that flashbang actually, so unfortunately he didn't really blind out Twist at all, so Twist had still a pretty easy shot to hit against someone pushing into the room. And same thing here with ANJ. ANJ just kind of slowly baiting the shot out, but he peeked way too wide for your bait, so it kind of just handed him the op shot there. It's actually been a pretty straightforward round here for Godsent so far, as NRG have made quite a few mistakes. Now it's on Fugly and Peter to attempt to turn this around. Originally, they were going to send Fugly into the B-bomb site with a bomb, and I think that's still happening. It sounds like there's some deliberation going on as to whether they're going to continue with this or not, but I believe Fugly's holding now until Peter can group up with him.
And that's the way to do it, in this position where at least they're going to be challenging 2v2 onto the B-bomb site. So you definitely want to group up. You know that there's, of course, the all player here has been spotted before, but they don't have any utility to block him out, but Disco Doppler misses a shot.
Yep. And now they have the capability to jump down from Brook, and will actually take a little bit of control here, but not really going to happen. Disco Doppler finally able to peek back out from the chicken coop, take both of them down, ending up with a 3K on the round, and with that, Godsent are going to be able to preserve their lead. They go up 13-11, and now they're going to want to try and reset energy, but that's going to take a long time with the amount of money that NRG has.
Fugly had 13K.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money coming in from him. So
it's going to be like 2 or 3 rounds. So essentially, Godsent have to take this up all the way to 16 rounds while winning gun rounds the whole way there. Because I don't think they're really going to be able to break NRG completely until they get up to like round 15 or 16 for Godsent.
No. This should be full action from now until the end for this map. And what a fitting end as well. This is gone all the way to 3 maps. These 2 teams look comfortable on each map themselves. Now we're on map 3, Cobblestone, the decider, and it goes potentially all the way between these 2, NRG and Godsent. One's going to go home, and it's a long flight home to Sweden for Godsent.
It's a big stack of players from NRG possibly going down drop. They've already got a 3-man team getting ready to move in there and take that control. More waiting on the outside. Another one, of course, back over by the broken wall platform approach. Nice nade going inside, a little bit off its mark though, so really doesn't end up doing as much damage as the CTs would have liked here. A 12 being done to Daps, and that's about it. So Pit will end up smoking it out for fear of a push in this direction, trying to avoid these guys from being able to pierce the Valent, pushing themselves into the B bomb set itself. And besides that, well, they've got Fugly on standby to also drop down there too. Very hesitant right now from NRG, though they don't really seem confident in their capability to make this push happen until they can at least find a kill, but Godsent's not giving them anything to work off of. So they're going to have to be the ones to make the first move here in a second, and it seems like they're finally going for it. Flashbangs outside in the drop room. Pit and Disco Doppelin able to hold on now. Pit can spin back around, getting a nice double kill for himself. He will go out to Fugly, but the damage has already been done. It's a 2v4. Both Fugly and Peter are stuck in their current positions. Peter battling his way out a little bit as he takes down Pronax. Now he'll be able to get up to the site, but Fugly has to distract long enough so they can get this plant. He's doing just that. 2 kills for him. Twist trades into Peter, though. Cisco's down to a 1v1, and Twist is going to run for his life because the time's going to run out, and that's Godsent winning it out on the timer. They'll go up to 14, just 2 more, and they take the series.
Incredibly close round there. NRG inches away once again from taking it home, and Godsent making it work. Nonetheless, 14-11. As we talked about the bank of NRG, it's a big one, but it's slowly and surely getting diminished now. They can force into the next round if they lose this one, but at that point, we might already see Godsent closing it out at 16, but Disco Doppelin, Twist, the double up setup. Lekro going for the aggressive peek, doing a bunch of damage, but taking equal amount of damage from that Molotov. Of course, if he got that frag, that would have been a great trade for them. So it's a viable option. Nice shot from Twist.
Ree's got way too confident with his positioning over there at A-Long. He's been dominating it up until this point, but now finally shut back down and ult. Daps, good thing he fell back. Didn't really have a choice, obviously, but okay. Yeah, that was actually kind of weird.
Yeah, that was a big mistake from Pronax.
Well, the problem was the flames didn't really even look like they were there, so that wasn't really his mistake. He kind of got Seal's goat a little bit there.
You have to count on that. Happened at least once every single match at this point.
I guess the flames are just invisible on the board or something, but now he's going to get burned out again. Nice timing from Fugly, too, to just leap into combat right there, because I'm pretty sure they would have heard Pronax burning previously, so that's how they knew he was up there. And then they just threw their own molly and were able to complete the kill. So his mistake to go up on top and get hit by the molly damage originally, and then following that up, well, now Disco Doppelin's going to be able to trade at the very least, so Godsent still hold good control, but at the same time, NRG are starting to group up towards the other site and getting ready for a push in there, but I mean, look at Godsent, they've already run into this. They've got a 3-man team ready to defend right here. And Peter's first attempt to push in won't go well. The other 2 trying to push out too, but Lekro's ready to defend this. There's 1 and... or it's 2. Not there yet, apparently. Fugly's going to be able to trade it onto him, but Twist does move in to get the finalizing frag, putting Godsent up to 15. Just 1 more, and they'll take this series.
Twist with a 3K. Disco Doppelin also defending very well with his AWP. So that double op CT setup working wonders for Godsent, finally being able to shut it down. This has been 3 rounds in a row, and the bank of NRG has officially been broken. A&J and Daps on Tech 9s. Rest of the team still full utility, full AK, but it's not the perfect setup. And they tried 2 rounds with perfect setup, could not grab around against Godsent, and now with limited weaponry, it's going to be very hard.
This is still a winnable round, absolutely, for NRG, though, with what they have. Tech 9s are very much still a viable weapon here. Well, unfortunately, A&J's not going to even get a chance to use his as he burns out. Twist gets another kill, and another one from Twist here as he knocks out Daps as well. More trying to push their way in with the flames. Continue to burn down below as it's all on Fugly in a 1v5. His time is run out here, and he's going to try to run away, looking for alternate options. But what options does he have? He's completely surrounded. There's nowhere to run. He can try running to the other bomb site, but his opponents are going to read into that like a book if he does complete that rotation. At this point, he's just hoping for a flank to come from that direction so he can at least get a kill to springboard himself over towards the A bomb site, but no one's even doing that.
So the 1v5, 55 seconds to go, and there's absolutely no chance of him getting the round win here. This would be the sickest clutch of all time if he makes it happen.
There is a chance. It's just...
Oh, yeah, it's just incredibly, it's just, almost mathematically impossible.
It's probably less than 1%. I don't know how we would actually calculate that.
A lot less than 1%.
Well, there's the first kill. There's the second one. It's a little bit more than 1% now as he's found those frags. He's got to get his gun out, though. He's got to be paying attention, and the time is getting low, too. Only 30 seconds remain. He spots the player below him, but finally he'll be taken down by Lekro. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Godsent get to move forward into the final match here of their group. And unfortunately for NRG, after a hard-fought battle, they're going to be going home early.
course, NRG can't be happy with this, but if we look back there, Valencia debut with a new team did not look very good. At least at this event, I feel like they've not really improved because they haven't had that much time to improve, but they've shown more of what they potentially could be in the future. And I think there's a lot of potential for this team. It's just not right now. They need, in my opinion, 1 or 2 months in order to get ANJ in on that team, in order to set everything up completely. And now he's being, of course, he has his visa, he's ready to move into the US, so that's going to be the case for the next couple of months. But Godsent will be the winners here, and they're going to go into the elimination game while NRG are defeated.
Yep, absolutely. We saw, I mean, in the first map, we saw some great stuff from ANJ, specifically in the very first half there. He kind of dipped off a little bit, and then he was relatively quiet for a lot of the rest of the games. He definitely had his moments, but just, you know, he wasn't like a super highlightable player or anything like that. But I mean, we definitely saw the bigger stars coming out for NRG. Breeze specifically was there. Peter, unfortunately, was very hit or miss, I think, from map to map there. He had some good maps, he had some bad maps. It was kind of all over the place for him, unfortunately. And that's the nature of NRG, though, is that you don't really know who's going to show up from map to map. And at the end of the day, you kind of need those bigger players like Breeze, like Peter, like Daps. All three of them need to show up for this team to dominate, and that just didn't happen for the most part on a lot of the maps. Yeah,
no, I have to pretty much agree with everything you said there. And as I said, like they can be a big team in the future, just not for this tournament. It wasn't in the cards for them, really. Coming in there with not too much of practice, and Godsent on the other side of things, pretty much the same situation, coming in with a stand-in, not really being set up, and yeah, it's always hard, but Godsent, they will move on, and I think we have Smix on the stage with one of the Godsent players to talk us through the whole thing.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Lecro. Congratulations, you guys are staying alive at this event here in Atlanta, but it was a lot closer than I think people maybe would have thought. It was a 2-1 over NRG. What are your thoughts?
They played very well, and I think we struggled in the beginning, but we got rolling on Inferno, but we expected a better result on Mirage, and luckily Doppelin saved the Cobble game, and without that it would have been hard.
Well, let's break it down map by map, specifically with Mirage. Started, you guys were down 1-9, then brought it back 9-6, but still weren't able to close it out in the second half, so what went wrong there?
I'm not sure. I think they pretty much outplayed us. They played a lot better than we expected on the Mirage, and we didn't get rolling with our game plan that we were expecting to play.
And then, of course, on Cobblestone, you were down 1-6, and Doppelin had that amazing 1v4, and it felt like you almost broke NRG for the rest of that half. So walk us through what happened for the rest of that half.
After that, everyone pretty much got recharged with energy, and thanks to that, we managed to get some confidence, get the calls rolling again, and after that, it went really smooth.
Well, luckily, you were able to close that out at the very end, even though it started to look a little bit close there as well. Up next, you're going to be playing Envy. What are your thoughts going up against them, as they are a team where Happy said he feels like you guys are similarly sort of inconsistent right now, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really entertaining, at least, because we both can play pretty random, and we're both been in a slump or is in a slump, so I think it's going to be a good game with some high individual plays also.
Now, last question for you before I let you go. I noticed that Twist seems to be in-game leading now, so what's going on there, and why was that decision made?
I think since we have a Pithhead stand-in, I think we wanted to simplify our game plan, and I think it's the easiest way to do it with Twist, because he has pretty simple calls, and everyone can do them pretty easy. And while Pronax needs pretty much everyone to know what they're doing and everything, so yeah.
All right, well, congratulations again, Lecro, and best of luck later today. They will be going up against Envy later in the decider match, so stay tuned.
Indeed, Godsent do go through to play Envy, and we say goodbye to NRG, unfortunately, for them. How are we feeling about that match coming out of that long best of 3?
Yeah, no, initially it felt like, well, with the first map going the way it did, to me it felt like this would be a pretty rapid 2-0. Crushed NRG on their own map pick, and going into Mirage, you kind of would have expected a better game plan coming out from Godsent, but you know, it's like Lecro mentioned, the fact that they keep it fairly simple. They don't necessarily go too in-depth or too advanced with their strategies, seeing how they're playing with the stand-in, and I think that was, you know, part of the downfall of why they couldn't find a good answer going into Mirage as well. But you know, you got to give credit to NRG for actually being able to bounce back in the way they did. We saw an outstanding performance from especially Breeze, who we kind of highlighted needed to come alive if they were to have a shot at this. And over at Cobble, it really did feel like Disco Doppelin just kind of broke the back of NRG.
talking of which, I believe we do have some highlights, so we can talk over the top of some of Disco Doplin's kills specifically. Great name and great player, apparently. Eric.
Yeah, no, definitely a great player. Obviously, there's a reason why he was chosen by Fnatic to actually get an extended stay there for a time being before, obviously, he ended up in Godsent. And there's no doubt that like these players possess an insane individual skill, but it's more down to the fact that you're not seeing the results you're expecting out of this kind of a player or these kind of players, which is also always kind of baffling, because they do seem to have every kind of ingredient to make this work. But it's fun to see when the players are kind of unleashed and they're allowed to thrive in their own environment, because that's when you see highlights like like what Disco Doplin is showcasing right now.
Yeah, so Eric, specifically in that 1v4 that we saw, it seemed to be that's what broke NRG.
Yeah.
We kind of saw the reactions from the desk, from Peter specifically. Yeah, what do you think was going on in the heads and what was going on in the comms of NRG there, and why did that happen?
Well, I think there was a good setup initially from NRG. I think there was a guy near connector that had a contact setup. So once he made contact with Disco, the guy from Chicken Coop was going to swing on him. But actually the guy in Chicken was Pete, and he just ended up whiffing the shot.
Right.
I think Disco was in transition of like jumping onto the statue and just, like whiffed right under his feet. And then once Disco knew he was there, he mollied him out, played it super well. I mean, it was just really hard to trade kill on Disco because of his movement. He would grab one on platform, readjust. So it was super hard to trade kill. NRG did have that setup, like I said, but it just came down to them hitting that one important shot, I think.
And what about all the rounds after that, though? Because after that, they felt we kind of saw a defeated NRG almost at that point, and there was multiple rounds that.
Yeah, I mean that just made their economy so bad for the entire half. That next round right after that, I think they had like 2 M4s, 3 pistols. They lost that, another eco. Once the terrorist, I mean, it is a very T-sided map on Cobble, and once you give the economy to the terrorist, it's going to be a struggle from there. So
yeah. Now we oftentimes talk about Cobble being so utility heavy, right? And that's pretty much what we end up seeing with NRG, breaking their back. It's the fact that they'll never be able to actually comfortably hold off that B bomb site. You're never able to take necessarily like safe risks, as contradicting as that sounds, by like stacking towards another bomb site or actually doing something proactive on the map, because you don't simply have the utility to actually set up for it. And that just makes it a world, a completely different world actually playing against a team like Godsent, who are already, coming into this tournament relying heavily on individual skill. So if they're already out-dueling you at that point, to the point where they're winning 1-on-4s, etc., you really need your utility to stay afloat.
Yeah, talking about that individual skill there of Godsent, we now know that Twist is calling.
Yeah.
Do we think that Twist calling in this situation, having Pith in there going up against Envy later on, do you think that can work, Eric?
Well, hopefully I would say if Twist was calling, it would help Pronax be a little bit more. What's that?
Frag?
Yeah, hopefully it would be more impactful.
Yeah.
But so far, it's not looking like it. He had actually a very tough Cobble, and it was just the ops on their CT side that really bailed them out of that match. I think Disco had a lot of good frags from the statue, as well as Twist was just locking it down at B and A. So, I mean, just those 2 operas alone, I think, won their CT side on the Cobble. Hopefully Pronax can step it up here with Twist kind of focusing still. So, I mean, I still want to see that from Pronax, and I mean, Twist is obviously still having a major impact while in-game leading.
And so we say goodbye to NRG, as we've mentioned. Any last sort of thoughts about where they go from here?
I mean, now they finally get to start practicing with A&J. So that should be, a light at the end of the tunnel, because obviously the last 2 tournaments they've been at haven't quite gone the way that they would have hoped for. Again, you still have some pretty decent players to build off of, Breeze especially. So, if you can make something out of him, then definitely, try to do so. If A&J can get incorporated into the team properly over the course of the next few months, then we might see some more stability and some better results from them. But otherwise, I fear that we might see someone like Breeze go on to greener pastures and better teams.
Right, okay, fair enough. Thank you very much for your insight. We will go through to the next game very soon, but we'll be going to a break first. But before we do, I want to let you know about the Strafe Esports app. All the details are at the bottom of your screen here. It's an iOS and Android app that has everything esports within it. You can find out about your favorite players, favorite teams, what they're up to, which tournaments they're going to be at, what they've been at, and you can see all of those stats on there. So while we are on a break, you can download that and have a look on there. Our next game coming up is Hellraisers and Misfits, to see who will be staying in this tournament. We will be losing one of those teams, sadly. but we'll find out very soon which of those it is. Stick with us, we'll be back soon.